I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
But in the kingdom, we're going to have that power like the angels, but we're going to be what you call extraterrestrial. In other words, we're not going to be regular terrestrial like we are right now. Because what happened is, in the ancient world, we had that power. We had that power when we were on a level like gods. But what happened is, the Most High took that power from us. Over the generations and over the years, the Lord took that power from us. But we're going to get that back. We're going to get that power back coming into the kingdom.
I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, saith the But as it is written, eye hath not seen, nor ear heard, neither hath entered into the heart of man the things which God hath prepared for them that love him. But God hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit.
When we think about the kingdom, most brothers think of like the small, minute terms. But the vastness of the kingdom, the greatness of the kingdom, dealing with the knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and the information alone that we're going to receive when we get to the kingdom, that's on a whole nother level. Never mind the riches and the lands and the women and the children, and to be in your chariot, sipping some yayan, on your chalice, your gold chalice with all them rubies and emeralds and sapphires and the different precious stones, going to places.
But as it is written, eye hath not seen, nor ear heard, neither hath entered into the heart of man the things which God hath prepared for them that love him. But God hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit.
No one, no matter how vivid a brother's imagination is, there's nothing in comparison to what's coming. You can't even imagine. You can't even paint it the picture or write it to words or give an explanation that even comes close to the majesty that's coming. We are destined for greatness in the new righteous kingdom.
But as it is written, eye hath not seen, nor ear heard, neither hath entered into the heart of man the things which God hath prepared for them that love him. But God hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit.
The brother with the most vivid imagination out there can't imagine what the kingdom of heaven has in store, what it's going to be like. What we're basing the kingdom of heaven as far as riches and having a good time and things of that nature is just based off of our experiences in this world and what we think having a good time is and living the life is. Thou wilt show me the path of life. In thy presence is fullness of joy. At thy right hand there are pleasures forevermore. There are pleasures forevermore at thy right hand. So the kingdom that's coming is going to be set up and established in righteousness. The Israelites are going to be changed. Thy people shall be all righteous. Not one Israelite is going to be lost, because the promise that the Most High made to Abraham was to all that seed. And the seed of the promise went from Abraham to Isaac to Jacob. Every seed that came out of Jacob is a part of the ones that are going to receive the benefits that the Most High promised to blessed Abraham.
A transfer of rulership is coming. The kingdom of heaven will be on earth. Righteousness will be spread throughout the whole four corners of the earth. Wickedness will be put down. According to the Holy Scriptures, Yahweh Shai, the Son of the Most High, is set to bring immortality to the nation of Israel, the elect, via establishing the tabernacle of David, as we talk about the second coming of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. He is coming to take down this current world ruled by Esau, Edom, and establish a righteous kingdom, which is synonymous with the throne of David. That's scriptural, which is a government that's going to run this world in righteousness.
All right. All right. Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakodash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. Okay, and what I want to get into this morning, morning news and prophecy. The tone is being set. People are on edge. All right, and the devils, they have been pushing. All right, psychological warfare on the masses for a long time. Okay, and they've worn people down, to the point of hopelessness, man. Okay, and they want people to revolt. Okay, they want civil unrest. They want people to, fight against each other. They want people to try to come together against the government. Okay, so Esau can be justified in unleashing the sword. Okay, because a part of this new world order is depopulation. Okay, so he wants to create a destabilized. Because see, what people have to understand is that the same thing that the American government does throughout the earth, which is go and destabilize these governments, all right, to justify bringing in military, to play the hero, okay, and to enforce, okay, Western, okay, governments, okay, into any region that rejects, okay, Westernization, man. So the same thing, all right, that America government does abroad, they're getting ready to do it here. Okay, which is to destabilize society, to justify force, okay, and make it seem like the New World Order is coming to save them. Okay, this digital system is going to be presented as a savior to the chaos. Okay, and it's been a long time in the making, because in this system, he gets to play the Most High. All right, through technology. All right, by trying to be omnipresent. Okay, omnipotent. Okay, so let's get some precepts, and I got a few videos I want to get into, with these devils, to show you that it's been a long time in the making. Okay, and we're here now. See, we're at the point, okay, where this devil is on this last push to establish this new world order. All right, so he's intentionally worn down the masses, all right, to the point of desperation. He wants people on edge and ready to crash out. Okay, so he can push this thing forward. Okay, because he's going to present an order out of the chaos. Ezekiel 28:2 says, "Son of man, say to the prince of Tyre, thus saith the Lord power." All right, and we know in the spirit this is speaking of Esau, man, mainly the elites. Okay, because the prince of Tyre, at this time, was wealthy. He controlled a lot of traffic. You know, it was hard for them to be conquered because there was an island, with a wall, at the edge, of the land. So that it pretty much, he felt invincible. He was wealthy. He couldn't be conquered. You know, you see. So this is the same spirit or position that the Lord has Esau in. Okay, the wealthy man that's defended. Okay, by what? His system, his military. Okay, his economy. Okay, so the prince of Tyre, all right, he was proud. Okay, and Esau Edom is in the same spirit. Okay, he's in the same position of the prince of Tyre. It says, because your heart is lifted up and you have said and thought, I am, all right, a God. I sit in the seat of gods in the heart of the seas. All right. So this is the mind of Esau. Esau thinks he's a God. And he's showing you that he thinks he's a God by trying to set up this system of complete control. Okay. He's trying to set up a system of complete control, man. This man really thinks that he's a God and he can play God with AI and technology, man, and enchantments. Okay, this is what we're witnessing this man attempt to do. Okay, it says, yet you are only a man, weak, feeble, made of earth, and not the Most High. Okay, so the Lord is going to demonstrate to the planet Earth that Esau is just a man, that he's feeble. And the more that we get into what this devil is trying to do, we see how feeble he is, man. You see, on the surface level, he just, present himself like he got it figured out. This is a very feeble plan. Okay? What he's trying to do is feeble. It's not nothing that's, concrete. This is very feeble what he's trying to do. Okay? Because technology is feeble. You see, when you interconnect all these systems, well, you just make it easy to be hacked and overridden. Okay? One thing about automation, yeah, it works great when it's up and running. But when you have problems, you have major problems. You see, this man is not, he doesn't have the ability to play the Most High. Okay? The Most High is responsible for a lot of things that we can't even fathom. Okay? That keeps everything going. Okay? And this is a very weak and feeble plan that this devil has with this new world order to run society, man. Okay, it's already known that he doesn't have enough energy to run these data centers. Okay, but this nigga, he's gonna do it anyway. Okay, it's gonna be a very tacky attempt to throw this new world order together, man. Okay, and it says, you are only a man, weak, feeble, made of earth, and not the Most High. Though you imagine yourself to be more than mortal and think your mind is as wise, all right, as the mind of the Most High. And he thinks that he's just a few notches away from the Most High. That's how this devil thinks. You see, he thinks that this technology has closed the gap, okay, between him and the Most High, man. Okay, this is how insane, all right, and off the rocker this devil is, man. Okay, to where he thinks that he can turn a few more boats, and he's equal with the Most High. He's nowhere near. Okay, like I said, he doesn't have enough energy for these data centers. You see, there's no way he can put a chip in all existence. Too much happening at the same time for this nigga to try to control, man. And he's not built to do that. Okay, this nigga be hyping himself up. Even with this whole AI thing, like it's a scam. Even with him firing people behind AI, a lot of that is a scam. All right, for their shareholders to make it seem like they're making more progress than what they really are. Okay, they overpromise a lot with this AI. Okay, yeah, he got some things that we haven't seen, but it's still not enough to run existence, man. Let that sink in. This man is trying to run existence with something he made. Okay. This is a what you call a long shot. What the devil is trying to do. You see, this ain't something that he's even in the realm. He's in the vicinity of being able to pull off. Okay. So when he tries to make this thing operational, the Lord is going to intervene. You see, because he's at the point to where he wants to make this. He's going to force it to be operational, man. Okay, and that's when the Lord is going to intervene, when he's about to fill his belly, when he thinks that he's there, that he's arrived, man. Okay, so let's keep reading. It says, I'm gonna jump down. It says, Ezekiel 28:5, this is the AMP. It says, by your great wisdom and by your trade, you have increased your riches and power, and your heart is proud and arrogant because of your wealth. Therefore, thus said the Lord power, because you have imagined your mind to be like the mind of the Most High, having thoughts and plans like the Most High himself. Okay? So this is what these devils are on. This is what they're pushing towards, man. Okay, and this is why, they're pushing society into chaos, because he wants to present himself as the order. This new system as the order, man. And he needs people, defeated, desperate, exhausted. Okay, so he can come in and play hero with this system. Now, let's go here. Now, this is the devil Henry Kissinger. Okay, at the beginning of this video, and it's going to end with this devil, all right, Rockefeller. Okay, David Rockefeller. All right, so this is the guy who is the mentor to Klaus Schwab. Okay, Henry Kissinger. He's the guy that's he's a Teamanite. I believe Klaus Schwab is a Teamanite too. And this is the guy that came up with the petrodollar idea. Okay, for Saudi Arabia to only take the dollar for their oil, because see the oil, once it was not the oil, the American dollar left the gold standard in 71, and people began trying to get their gold back. Okay, but under Nixon, they ended the gold, all right, standard, because people were trying to get their gold, because they like, damn, America printing a lot of money, because that money was supposed to represent the amount of gold that America had. Okay, so when these nations started to see, and became suspicious of America print too much money, well, they began to ask, okay, for their gold back. They wanted to get those dollars back and get gold. So what Nixon did was took America off the gold standard. So, nigga, it's my goal. Pretty much America told the world, nigga, that's my goal. Okay? Ain't no chili cheese Fritos, fat boy. All right, what the nigga said on Big Worm said on Friday, man. So after they did that, they needed something, to prop up the dollar. So in 72, that's when this devil here that's going to speak, Henry Kissinger, he went to Saudi Arabia, made a deal that they only take dollars for their oil, and in return, America will provide them with arms. That's why Saudi Arabia is the biggest, arms customer of America, going back to the deal with the petrodollar. Okay, so now everyone had to have the dollar to buy oil. Okay, to what? For energy for their country. So they made the dollar, all right, strong. You see, they brought back strength to the dollar. They brought back trust to the dollar. They stabilized the dollar, this petrodollar, man. Okay, and it was this devil Henry Kissinger. And see, that's why when the scriptures say, is there no more wisdom in teaming? Because these devils are used to these Teamanites, these think tanks, bailing them out, man. Okay, but we getting to the point where the think tank not gonna bail him out of this, man. You see, now the Lord finna judge, and right, and team ain't gonna be able to think or come up with a solution, okay, for the judgment, man. Okay, well, yeah, that's just giving a little history on this devil that's getting ready to speak. Okay, but they've been telegraphing what they've been wanting to do for a long time. Okay.
For the first time in history, foreign policy has become global. Communications are instantaneous, and there exist problems which are genuinely not national, like environment, nuclear proliferation, and similar issues. So in this sense, we are living in a new world, and a new world order will emerge. The only question is whether it will arise out of intellectual and moral insight and by design, or whether it will be forced on mankind by a series of catastrophes. That's the challenge of our period. And it makes it, to my mind, one of the most exciting periods in which anybody can live.
The digital identity is not just...
He said a new world order is going to emerge, you know, whether it's forced on man through catastrophes. And the devil said this is an exciting time. Okay, and these how these devils talk, man, and people just look at it and, you know, shrug it off. Nah, man, these devils been telegraphing what they've been wanting to do. Okay, so that's why, you know, prepare for planned events. Okay, what they call black swan events, man, because these devils, they want to take this thing to the next phase, man, and they can get the most done in crisis. All right, that's why they was able to make leaps and bounds in the pandemic, because everything was in emergency and crisis mode. Okay, so this devil is preparing, all right, to go digital globally, prepare for catastrophic events. Okay, for him to move the needle. Okay, in leaps and bounds, man. You see?
The passport that you will have on your iPhone in a digital form. It entails just about everything the government would like to know about you. The best way to get to a modern person's heart is to say that it's convenient for them. So yes, you won't have to carry all your different papers and your passports, but the downside of it is, and I hope that people will start to see this, that the government can shut you down. So you know, if you want to buy a burger, red screen, no mark, not for you. That flight, not for you. Oh, but you can just buy it if you have enough money, right? So they're being very open and honest to what their goal is here. So we should take their words seriously and say, hell no. I would say we should cancel these communists immediately and say, get the hell out of my private life. I'm not having you track me and decide what I eat and where I go.
That is why I believe we must push forward the principle of pseudonymity as the functioning element of social media, and force all these platforms to link every user account to an European digital identity wallet. This way, citizens could use nicknames if they want, but in the case of a crime, public authorities would be able to connect those nicknames to real people and hold them responsible. Because accountability is not an obstacle to freedom of speech. It is an essential complement to it.
Build a website you love with Wix. For your words.
And finally, it takes resilience. As technology evolves, we need to build up societal immunity around information manipulation. Because research has shown that pre-bunking is much more successful than debunking. Pre-bunking is basically the opposite of debunking. In short, prevention is preferable to cure. Perhaps if you think of information manipulation as a virus, instead of treating an infection once it has taken hold, that is debunking. It is much better to vaccinate so that the body is inoculated. Pre-bunking is the same approach. because disinformation relies on people passing it on to others. It is essential that people know what malign information's influence is and what the techniques are that are behind it. And as the knowledge goes up, our chances of being influenced goes down. And that builds up the society resilience that we will need.
And yet,
So prepare, for more censorship. As she said, pre-bunking is preventive measures. So not letting what they call misinformation get out. All right. And like we discussed earlier, it's gonna be a crime to call out their wickedness. Okay, now this nigga can lie and do whatever the hell he wants. Okay, he can say and do any goddamn thing. Okay, but just calling it out, okay, is going to be considered misinformation. Okay, his new world order ain't going to be no alternative news. Okay, it's just going to be a social credit, all right, standard that he set. Okay, that people will live by. Okay, his social credit system is going to be his law, statutes, and commandments. Okay, so he's setting up the atmosphere to criminalize anybody that speaks against his wickedness, that calls him out. Okay, and this is why they're so big on linking identity to the internet. Okay, so they can identify the culprit, man. Okay, so let's play this some more.
we are allowing people to roam freely on social networks without linking their profiles to a real identity. This paving the way for misinformation, hate speech, and cyber harassment, because it is facilitating the use of bots, and it is allowing people to act without being held accountable for their actions. Such an anomaly cannot continue. In a democracy, citizens have the right to privacy, not to anonymity or impunity, because with those two, social coexistence would be impossible.
This is an extraordinary story.
This is one of the women of the Rothschild family. All right, Dame Hannah Rothschild. She's going to give a quick story of the Rothschild family and how they become influential, how they became influential in these world governments. Okay, because this new world order system is, all right, the system of the elite bankers. Okay, because they control, the world through currencies and through debt. Well, so they want to tighten down on it and make it digital. Okay, which will give them another layer of control. Okay, you see, this new world order is them, okay, taking away all control from the masses, all privacy, all right, autonomy. Okay, the ability to self-govern in any capacity. Well, they're taking that away. Okay, and they're taking that unto themselves, and that's why they're trying to continue to master this AI. Okay, they want to get AI to the point to where it can govern the earth, and that's why they want to knock so many numbers down, because the AI is limited. See, the Most High is not limited by a population. Okay, the fact that this devil wants to depopulate shows that he's limited. Okay, the Heavenly Father is not stressing about, all right, population. He told us to be fruitful and multiply. Okay, but this devil, he has a depopulation agenda because he's limited. You see, the scriptures say, "What a little one shall become 1,000, a small one a strong nation." The Most High got that figured out. That's light work. You see, But this devil, because he's so limited and this new world order is so feeble, he needs to depopulate. Okay? So let's play this. But she's going to go into a quick spiel, dealing with the elite. All right. The Rothschild banking family. Okay. One of the top families, all right, in the earth. Okay.
He was born in a place called the Judengasse, which was a Jewish ghetto, basically. And it was the house that he lived in when he eventually had 13 children was only 14 feet wide. And he lived there with his very, very overpowering and dominant and an incredibly brilliant wife who was called Guttel. He was determined to get out of this ghetto. At nighttime, the ghetto was closed. You weren't allowed to leave. The street was so narrow that no sunlight could penetrate. There was no plumbing, there was no sewage, there was nothing. So everything you can imagine happened in this street. And unsurprisingly, he wanted to get out of there. And he started a small coin business, and that did reasonably well. But actually, and this is where it ties into legacy, his great strength was to send his 5 sons to the capitals of Europe at that time. And what they did is they set up, in effect, the first international banking system. So whereas everyone used to be in separate different countries or separate cities until then, these 5 boys communicated with each other, sometimes by pigeon, and they wrote to each other in Judendeutsche, which was a kind of Yiddish German vernacular. And that is why they were so successful. And this absolute belief in togetherness, you've got to stand together, you've got to work together, you've got to work across borders, you've got to work with rules. And by 1789, when the last one went, to 1815, so a very, very short period of time, it was said that no government or king would consider going to war without the Rothschilds supporting them, because that was how incredibly influential and powerful they had become.
The negative impact of population.
And see, the scriptures say, let's get a couple off the comment board. Okay. And if a brother could get that, I think that's Psalm 37 and 25. Let's get a couple off. All right. So it shows you, that these banking families, okay, they're the one that's pulling the levers and pushing the buttons for these world government. Okay. Let's go here. This 2 Corinthians 2:11 said, least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Okay. And this is from the brother Elder Hawaii, GMS, North Carolina. All right. 777. Okay. So we're not ignorant of how this devil gets down. Okay. And we know that everything that he's doing is gearing up to roll out this new world order, and it's been a plan in the making. Okay. This is no new idea that came about 2020. No, he's been conditioning people, all right, to accept this new world order, okay, for a long time. Okay. So this is what we're watching and witnessing real time. Okay. Let's go here. Almost yep. This is on the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24, from our beloved elder brother. All right, Hawaii, GMS North Carolina 7 it says Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he, man? So the earth just fell into this nigga lap, man. The earth just fell into this man's lap because it was given to him. These elite bankers were able to, accumulate all this wealth, to scheme, plot, to infiltrate governments and corporations. Okay. And the earth just fell into their lap, man, because this is this devil's blessing, man. Okay, this is this devil's blessing. Okay, and then it's Psalms 37 and 35. Bible Shah. So like if I said 25. Psalms 37 and 35. Okay, so let's get this. Okay, then we're gonna let the devil Rockefeller talk. Okay, it says Micah 2 and 1. This is the beloved brother, priest Anah, GMS, look up 441. It says, woe to them, all right, woe to them that devise iniquity, okay, and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. Okay, and like she said, these nations wouldn't even go to war without the Rothschild backing. All right, because they needed Rothschild financing. Okay, war is extremely expensive. Okay, so these nations would need, Rothschild finances to go to war. Okay, and these are the same banking family, all right, that finance these corporations, and these same corporations that run the government. Okay, you see, so you people, you're still, stuck in this illusion. Okay, you going and voting and thinking that you're making a difference and you're marching. None of that makes a difference, man. This man is doing exactly what he wants to do. Okay, no matter who gets in office. Okay, the devil is set up to do exactly, what he wants to do, man. Okay, verse 2, it says, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and hence it says in houses and take them away, so that oppress a man, all right, in his house, even a man in his heritage, man. Okay, and these devils, have heaped the earth unto themselves, man. And this new world order is about them completely owning all the resources of the earth. And it's in the power of his hand because they control these governments. They control militaries. Okay, so it's in the power of their hand, to pull these things off. Okay, they control infrastructure. You see? So this is Israel is united. All right, one last time. Psalms 37 and 35 is, I have seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a green bay tree. Okay, so she went into how, he sent his 5 sons out, okay, to begin to start a banking cartel in Europe. And now that banking cartel runs the earth. Okay, the IMF, SWIFT banking system, that's all goes back to the Rothschild, BlackRock. That's the Rothschilds, man. All the assets, people talk about all the assets of BlackRock. Well, there's nothing but a financial arm of the Rothschilds, man. Okay, these nations that be getting these big loans, where do you think they get these big loans from? Okay, these elite banking families. When it talks about American debt, they're in debt to these banking families. Okay, that's why American citizens belong to the elites. That's why you have a social security card. Okay, this is letting the elites know that they have another asset. Another asset has been born. Okay, you go to prison for murder because you've killed, all right, an asset of the elites. Okay, so you go to prison and they get that labor out you. Because really, you kill someone, you're supposed to be put to death according to the law. Okay, but no, they keep you alive, put you in the prison system where they can extrapolate free labor because they're saying, look, you killed an asset. So you see, it's wickedness, man. So let's play this.
Growth on all of our planetary ecosystems is becoming appallingly evident. The rapid growing exploitation of the world's supply of energy and water is a matter of deep concern, and the toxic byproducts of widespread industrialization have increased.
So, and he's speaking about what you call the Methuselah theory, where there's too many people in the earth. Okay, the earth is overpopulated. And this is defiance of the Most High. Because he's pretty much telling the Most High, look, you didn't set this up right. We're going to redo it. That's what this new world order is saying. It's saying, look, you didn't set this up right. We finna redo this thing. The earth is not meant to hold this many people. He want to set the population to a number. Okay? This is a major defiance of Yahweh Bashim al-Shah, what these devils are doing. Okay?
Increased atmospheric pollution to dangerous levels. Unless nations will agree to work together to tackle these cross-border challenges posed by population growth, overconsumption of resources, and environmental degradation, the prospects for a decent life on our planet will be threatened. The recent UN meeting in Cairo is appropriately focused on one of these key issues, population growth. But the controversies which have erupted at the conference illustrate the problem of coming to grips with issues that are deeply divisive and which have a profound moral dimension. The United Nations can and should play an essential role in helping the world find a satisfactory way of stabilizing world population and stimulating economic development in a manner that is sensitive to religious and moral considerations. Economic growth is, of course, an inevitable corollary of a growing population and is essential to improve standards of living. But without careful coordination, unrestrained economic growth poses further threats to our environment. This was a major subject of discussion at the conference in Rio de Janeiro on the environment 2 years ago. The focus then was on sustainable growth and global development. It was pointed out at the conference that growth is most efficiently managed by the private sector, but regulation of the process by national governments and international bodies.
It said growth is best managed by the private sectors. All right. And that's a call for technocracy. Okay. Politicians are, they're played out. Democracy is played out. So now it's time for the experts to run society, the engineers, the scientists, the tech guys. Okay. Because without, the scientists and the tech guys, then, resources would be mismanaged and the earth would implode on itself. And that's the narrative that he's running with. Okay. Then look, technology, has to run the show. Okay. Because the earth won't survive unless, the technocrats are at the forefront, managing and controlling everything. Okay, and this is what he's presenting to the world. This is the tone that's being set. Okay, then the technocracy is a necessity. Okay,
is also needed, and once again, the United Nations should certainly be among the catalysts and coordinators of this process.
There you go. I'm gonna get a couple of comments, but I got one more video. So I got this video from the beloved elder brother Shaquat down here in the Mississippi camp. We'll play that. Yeah, brother. Let's get this. The brother Kazakba and Yahweh, St. John 10:10. The thief cometh not but for to steal and kill and destroy. I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly, man. Okay. The earth is meant for abundance, man. All right. There's enough resources, there's enough land, there's enough carbon, oxygen. The Most High had that all figured out. Okay, and this devil with his technocracy and like, nah, we gonna manage it our way. Okay, and the first order of business is to depopulate, man, which is complete rebellion against the order to be fruitful and multiply. Okay, You know, you have these BS or these what they call SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. You go into 2030, all these sustainable development goals they call SDGs. Okay, the Earth needs to, you know, this much carbon and this much population, and this you need to eat this much meat in order to sustain the Earth. Man, that is complete bullshit, man. You know, this devil is full of shit, man. Okay, and he ain't got it like he be projecting. He got it, man. You know, like we look at this devil and he can do certain things and he can do some shit that, you know, but then when you look at when he's comparing himself to the Most High, yeah, amongst the other heathens, you know, he got, you know, certain little things and technology, yeah. You know, he dominates them. But when he steps into the realm of trying to be the Most High, he's nowhere near that, man. He's nowhere near it. You know, but he's been putting on like he's just right there at the doorstep. Okay, he's at the doorstep of trying to pull this tacky shit off, but he's nowhere near on the level of being the Most High. Okay, so let's go back to let's read this and then we play this video. Kind of segue a little bit. Okay, it says Sirach 10 and 8. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Okay, and this from the brother Priest Anah. Yeah, man. So the Lord is translating the kingdoms, man, because this devil, everything that he's gotten has been based off unrighteous dealings and deception. Okay, the foundation of his kingdom is based on wickedness. Okay, the sword, deception, and unrighteous dealings, man, especially going to, you know, this banking system, man. Okay, it's very wicked. This banking system, the economy, the way it's rigged and set up is very wicked, man. Okay, so this man has a real wicked, unjust, all right, system that he's establishing the earth. Okay, and this devil, he's trying to double down on it. Okay, so let's play this because this is the point going into 2026. This is the tone being set with people, man. People are on edge, man. That's why, you know, you brothers, you know, hey, you few sisters, man, be circumspect how you move, man. This ain't the time for that rah-rah spirit. You know, be mindful, you know, in traffic when you're out. You know, this is the time to utilize, keep wisdom at the forefront. Okay? Like be circumspect, man. Be observative. Okay, amongst these people, man. Because this is where people are at. Let's play this.
Look, you got people that look normal, just like you and me, you know, who do not want to be on this planet anymore, do not want to live this life anymore. You got so many people who say to themselves, and I see it in my comments, and I've even had those thoughts that, man, if I go to sleep and don't wake up, I'm good. Like if I go to sleep, I'm, you know, and it's not people that's suicidal, it's not people who need to be in mental hospital. It's people who just see this life for what it is. This is like, it's almost like Earth is a prison. It's a dual reality. It's the craziest, most horrific dual reality, because on one end of the spectrum, you'll see people living in peace. But if you look in places like Gaza and other places around the world, like Africa, where women are having their breasts cut off and their clitoris is cut off, this is a very crazy world that we live in. And there are many people, man, that say, if I had to re-up and re-sign up for this world, I would never come back to this world. Like, this is not a world that you can even bring up your kids up in. If you don't have any kids right now, let me give you some advice. Do not have any kids in this world. One girl told me yesterday, she said in my comments, she said, most of us have kids for us, but we don't think about the kids. And that hit me hard, because when you're thinking about having kids in this day and age, and you want to bring them up in this crazy world, in this horrific world, where people are barely surviving and being murdered and killed all day. No, I don't want to bring another kid up in this world. I don't want anybody to have to suffer the stuff that I had to go through in this world. And I'm sure you don't either. Again, you got people all over the planet, man, who like cannot wait for their time to come. They go to work every day, take care of their families, but they say to themselves, if I go to sleep tonight and don't wake up, I am good. And you got a lot of folks, man, who say to themselves, the only reason I'm still here is because of my kids or my grandkids, or even people have said my dog, but I don't want to be here anymore. This is a very difficult world to be in, and this is a conversation that people don't like to have because I'm a person that's going to talk real talk. I'm never going to I'm never going to unalive myself. But at times I wish that, hey, if there was an exit plan for this planet, I'd be in it. If they ever said that if I ever left here and they gave me the opportunity to come back, hell to the no, I'm not coming back here.
And this is the beauty of the gospel, because we have an exit plan. You know, and there's a lesson within itself, man. We have an exit plan. Okay? And that's going to be on no chariots, man. You see? So that'd be something, you know, to go into, because there's so much to go into that on that topic, man. But we have an exit plan, man. And that's the good news. Okay? People do not want to exist, okay, in the world of Esau anymore. Okay? Especially this generation. You know, now these young bugged out, you know, and that's why the Lord is just going to do a mass elimination of America, man. Okay, because what America is producing as far as men and women is terrible, because a part of them wanting to get out of here is because of the people. The people that America produces, man. America is the problem. Okay, that's why you got that Revelation 19:2. You know, if a brother want to post that, let me get this real quick. Yeah, man. You see, these people are unstable. All right. Yep. Get that. This says Revelation 6:4 says, and there went out another horse that was red. Okay. This is from the elder brother. All right. Hawaii, GMS, North Carolina. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given unto him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, man. Okay, this is what this devil was assigned to do in his rulership, was to take peace from the earth, man. You know, my boy said if he went to sleep and didn't wake up, he would be good. That's a goddamn shame, man. All this technology and all this wealth in the earth, and this is the mind of the people, man. Okay, all this boasting. That's why I say this nigga boasting all this bullshit, but earth is a goddamn disaster, man. Okay, Esau the worst heathen to ever do it, and that's why he's got the worst judgment, man. The Lord finna get this nigga out of here, man. Okay, and after his 1,000 years, he's going to be eradicated, man. Okay, it says back in Revelation 6:4, it says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon, all right, to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given, okay, unto him a great sword, man. Okay, so this devil, you know, showing you that this is speaking of Esau, because who was blessed with the sword? Okay, this devil, he was blessed with the fatness of the earth, but it was through the sword, man. Okay, and with that, he constantly takes peace from the earth. Okay, the earth is constantly at war because of this nigga, man. Okay, these nations are pouring into their military because of Esau. They got to have something for this nigga, man. Okay, this Isaiah 33:6. It says, it's another from the brother GMS, North Carolina, brother Hawaii. It says Isaiah 33:6. It says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability, okay, of thy times, and the strength of salvation. All right, the fear of the Lord is his treasure, man. And you can see this Jake, he doesn't have wisdom. He doesn't have the wisdom, so he doesn't have stability. You see? Now we all, you know, we're like, damn, we wish it was the Lord would judge. You see? But then you understand, like, hey, nah, man, we in some beautiful times. You know, I want to see all of it, man. You see, I want to see this thing play out, man. The miracles, you know, brothers get power. Okay, the second that the chariot Yahushua shows up, man, I want to see it all. Abaratazah, you know, it's the Lord's will. Okay, but that goes into being stabilized by wisdom. Okay, and that's why a lot of people finna lose it. They finna be perplexed. It said Revelation 19:2 says, "For true and righteous are his judgments, for he have judged the great whore, which did corrupt the earth with her fornication, and have avenged the blood of his servant in her hand." It's from the brother Kazak Bon Yahweh. Okay, but shows you that America is the root problem of wickedness, man, because the elites have used America, okay, to corrupt the earth, to defile the earth, man. All right, these same banking families that we've been discussing, well, they utilize America, all right, to run the earth to the ground morally. Okay, the earth is corrupted at the influence of America, man. Yeah. You know, everything is through. Well, Jake want to take time off, all right, from teaching to run back, all right, to a sinking ship, man. Showing you that Jake not in the spirit, man. The fact that, you know, going back to the reason of men, okay, the trial of a man is in his reasoning. You know, so the fact that Jake is even on that, showing you that he's not tapped in, his reasoning is off, man. Okay, to be in that spirit. You see, Jake won a career in the burning building. Okay? Nah, man, Jake not in tune to prophecy and what's happening, man. Okay? Hey, we're not here to comfortable. Jake talking about comfortable, you know, living in America. Nigga, it's finna get very uncomfortable, man. Give a damn what type of salary you got, man. The only thing that's finna matter is whom the Lord is finna have favor on. That's it. Nothing gonna matter outside that soon. A net worth, a salary, none of that shit finna matter. Okay? And you got these people ready to check out, man. So imagine when these people lose everything. Okay? Let's play this.
Because this place is sure hell. Whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, everybody seems to be suffering and going through with no relief in sight. You tell me who the hell want to come back and live here.
It's coming. One of two things is going to happen in America real soon. People are going to outflux out of the country and escape as soon as they possibly can, or there's going to be some sort of civil uprising. Why, you may ask? Why would such a thing happen? Well, I'm sure you already know this as a fellow lower to middle class citizen of the country, and even probably an upper class citizen, because truly the problem in America is corporations and politicians and the IRS and these people who tax us up the wazoo. But we are going to reach a point in America soon, it won't be long, where people no longer can afford basic necessity. We've already reached this point, man, where people are losing hope and they feel like there's no point. You look at the younger generation of kids out here, man, who are going to work, making $12 an hour to roll silverware or do dishes, man. They can't get ahead in life. They can't even afford an apartment at the wages they're getting paid. Yeah, guess what goes up year after year after year is prices. Gas gets more expensive. Food gets more expensive. Fun gets more expensive. I mean, dude, we're people. We can't just live, work, and die. But that's what people feel like now. People feel like they'll never be able to buy a home. And because of this, what's the point of working? People feel like they can't afford to have families. So what's going to happen? Population's going to collapse. And this is going to lead to one of two places, man. People are going to leave these conditions because what's the point? Or they're going to say, you know what, man? I'm a rat and I'm cornered. And if you're going to kill me, I'm going to bite your ankle on the way out. And if you get enough rats in that corner, man, they can take down the person that's trying to kill them.
Shalom. I would like to give honor.
Yeah, like I said, this lesson was done by the beloved elder brother Shaquat. You know, he put that together. Let me drop this off in the comment. You know, your brothers can subscribe. If you're not subscribed to their brother channel, be edified, you know, be, you know, in the loop, be informed, you know, as well. You know, the brother, you know, he goes in, he constantly checks the temperature, you know, of society, you know. So yeah, man, and I want to go here to the book of Isaiah 24 and 5. Read these two that I got some on the chat pulled up. It says Isaiah 24 and 4. It says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish, man. Okay, so the earth is in a decaying state, man. The earth itself, the people in it, You know, and this man has just run earth to the ground, but he's still boasting in what he's going to do next. Okay? It's like a nigga that's done thrown, 5 pick sixes. But he's in the huddle bragging what he's finna do next. Nigga, get your ass out the game, man. Okay? Most often take this nigga out the game, man. This man has ran the earth, all right, to the ground, man, to where people don't want to exist. And that's what he wants. He's so goddamn demonic. Okay? He wants people not to want to exist here. Okay? Because he's against life. You see? And if you do exist, you got to exist in a perverted, twisted way that he wants you to exist. Okay? Verse 5, it said, the earth also defiled under the inhabitants thereof, under Esau, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. And that's another lesson too, man. This is the world of Esau. The reason why people feel like they feel because of Edomites. You see, the prophets are identifying the source of the bullshit, man, which is the Edomites. They're the problem. Every complaint that you have as a citizen on the earth goes back to Esau. He's the problem. Okay? He's the X factor in every, complaint. He's a common denominator in every complaint, man. Okay? So let's go here real quick. Pull this up on the chat. Let's go to let me see. Okay, here you go. So I just asked it what Isaiah 24:4, how would it play out real time? All right, so Isaiah 24:4 says in simple terms that the land dries up and people lose strength and joy. Everything feels worn down. If this were happening in real time today, it wouldn't have to mean something dramatic all at once. It could look like a slow, visible decline that people actually feel day by day, showing you how on point the scriptures are, man. The scriptures were speaking of this time. Okay, this was a prophecy for this time. Okay, so let's jump down, read some more. It says environmental stress, all right, droughts, failing crops, extreme weather, or land that can't support people the way it used to, emotional exhaustion, widespread burnout, anxiety, or hopelessness, people feeling drained or discouraged, social decline, community struggling, fewer opportunities, increased inequality, and loss of trust in leaders, or systems, loss of joy and purpose, culture feeling heavy, less celebration, creativity, or shared hope for the future. Okay. So people this is the times we are in. And it's why? Because the inhabitants thereof, the leadership. Okay, and this is what people are experiencing: emotional exhaustion, burnout, loss of joy and purpose, social decline. Everyone is, is hyper individualized society, inequality, the ability to create not wealth, but the ability to just, create provisions. It's getting hard to even just create provisions, man. Okay. But it only gets worse. But the tone is being set, for 2026, man. Okay, let's get this. Just the brother Priest Anah. All right, GMS look up. This is Rock 35:20 said, mercy is seasonable in the time of affliction as clouds of rain in the time of drought, man. And the Lord's mercy is going to be clutch for us, in these coming days, man. The mercy of the Lord. All right, this is the worst time ever to detach for mercy. Okay, to try to go figure it out in Babylon. Okay, Jake missed the whole memo. Jake missed the whole PowerPoint presentation of what's happening. Okay, now we're in a time where we're gonna need mercy, man, and mercy is gonna be clutch. Okay, so yeah, that's the point. I'll leave it there. So Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters edified once again. And we give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakapadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessing salutations to the whole elect. Shalom.